This is my Gourami tank. This is my orange Gourami. I have red Gourami. I got a bunch of blues, and then there's a couple other different kinds. There's also a gold or a pearl. I'm not sure exactly what that one was. I used to have big ones. They get really pretty when they get big. There's also a bunch of blues. I had a couple of red ones. They died. I got the female cichlid in the back there, and also I have a male cichlid right here. I've had those two. I've had them for a while. I don't know why the female just sits. That's all she does is sit in the corner, and he just like fucks with her all the time. And it's been like that for years. Like, I mean, it's just like a dysfunctional relationship. But the cichlids don't bother. They don't mess around with the gouramis, which is nice. So that no one's eating each other. I love that color. Oh, it's so beautiful. I wish I had some more money. I could have bought more. I should go back today and buy a couple more. As a pretty gourami. I love the pet store that I have out here in Pueblo, Colorado. I forget the name, but it's off Pueblo Boulevard. It is awesome. I mean, they got arowanas, you know, I mean, they got all the cool ones, flower horns, everything. I mean, this is my 75-gallon tank. It used to be all like fake stuff, and I changed my mind. I went with all real. Like, I found those rocks, you know, scraped them, made sure they were okay. I got the sand, all live plants, and ever since I went with the live plants, I did one water change maybe in the last couple months. The water stays crystal clear all the time. I got the one filter there. I have a recycling water filter up top here where it just recycles the water. And I have 2 heaters for this winter in Colorado. I got light, and I got an LED on that side. I also have 2 more extra lights if I have to use them. The ones that come with the tops. I can't find a top that fits because there's a splitter. So I just have like one top halfway and then 2 small tops going sideways. And then I got the, I got the big guy. You know, keep everything really nice. Because I love fish. Like, I'm from South Florida. I grew up on the beach. I grew up on the fishing pier. I grew up, spent my whole life on a fishing pier in Florida, every day, all night, and I've caught every single thing you could imagine. 14-foot sawfish, and 15-foot hammerhead shark, 7-foot tarpon, 800-pound Goliath groupers. I mean, you name it, anything that's in the Gulf, which is everything. Bonitas, jacks, mackerel, redfish, snook, pompano. I mean, you just keep listing, and it's there. And I've caught everything: barracudas, lemon sharks, bull sharks, spinner sharks, which are awesome sharks. They jump out the water and do spins in the air. They're crazy sharks to catch. They're so much fun. Like, I mean, the best is to go out there in the morning and it's dark, jig for some snook, catch some snook when it's dark, and then as soon as a glimpse of light comes out, grab a sabiki, get some bait, get like a threadfin herring, hopefully, or a big eye, or a pinfish, or whatever we can get for bait, then throw it back out with a balloon bobber, and you'll most likely get a tarpon. That's the best time to go fishing, is when it's light out but the sun's not out yet. That's the best time. It's usually only lasts like 40 minutes, so I mean, you gotta go quick, and you gotta hope that you get a bait fast, because you'll see like tarpon rolling like crazy everywhere, all the warm months, which is a lot in Florida. And then like in the winter, like now, November, December, January, February, those months, that's the kingfish months, and you gotta throw out the same kind of bait, but floated out way further on a balloon, You gotta use a wire leader, usually with a trailer treble hook, just to make sure. The problem always has been the dolphins eat them. They take them. They bite them while they're on your hook, and they eat them, and they eat them until the fish is off your hook. So it's like, it basically, when you go out there, it's like, hey, what's up, is a dolphin here? Yeah. It's like, you might as well just go home, like, because you're not going to have them, you can't catch anything big unless it's like really big, like sharks and tarpon. I mean, dolphins don't go for sharks and tarpon, or giant stingrays, but they go for kingfish. But I mean, like, or if you catch something, even the big snook, I mean, the dolphins mess up the fishing, and they never get hooked unless, I mean, I've seen dolphins get hooked and caught and brought to the beach and unhooked, and it's only because, like, the hook ended up hooking them in, like, their skin somehow, not because their mouths are like rocks, so, like, the hook just never, I've never seen a dolphin have a hook stuck in its mouth. I don't think it's actually possible. I really don't. Wow, look at that guy. I gotta go buy a couple more of them, because I've never seen these guys. The guys, I forget the name. It wasn't orange gourami. I think it was tangerine gourami, something like that. They all have crazy names. Like, some of these blues aren't blue gouramis. They're like opaque or opalins. I mean, there's so many types of fish, and it's just. I live in Colorado now, and I wanted to go to Denver, and it got too expensive, and all I could afford was to come down to Pueblo, and then Pueblo's not like, it doesn't feel like Colorado with the mountains right there, Pueblo's more of a desert, and the mountains are like 45 minutes out west. You can see them, but they're not right in your face, like, whereas in Colorado Springs to Denver, you basically living right there, like right on the foothills, and I mean, Denver's just amazing, because the city of Denver, anything cool that's happening in the world, new things, new stores, it all happens in Denver. It's like LA, Denver, Chicago, New York, and then like Miami. Like, those are like the cities where like anything cool that's new, that's going on. I mean, I moved out to Colorado in Denver for the medical marijuana. I was sick of being worried about getting arrested just for smoking weed in Florida. It's stupid, because I got caught 3 times, and I got away with a warning all 3 times, because I either ate the weed before a cop got there, or I threw it out the window, or I've always been lucky, so I was like, I got tired of it, and I just took my fiance, and I had $7-8 grand, and we just went to Denver, and luckily somehow got an apartment without even having jobs out there, which was really lucky, and that was like God, like, because I mean, that was the hardest, scariest part, was getting a place to live without a job, because that's almost impossible. I got this meth addict, prostitute lady who also does apartments as a day job. She couldn't give me an apartment where she worked, but she lied and got me into an apartment where she lives to get free rent. So she just she knows the people, and she called and said, oh, hey, I got this couple, they got the money, everything, credit checks, everything. We just don't have, a place. And so for $99, I got to move into an apartment in Denver. It was awesome. It was right there. I mean, I'll never forget. I mean, there was the marijuana dispensary store literally across the street. Like, I could stand in my bedroom and look out the window and just see a marijuana store, and that, to me, at the time, felt like I was in heaven finally. I could smoke marijuana openly, free, and never have to worry about ever getting in trouble for smoking marijuana. That's the biggest joke in the world. I mean, I just don't understand it, and I don't even want to get into it with the whole why is alcohol, liquor stores are okay, but you need a prescription for Valium, like, yeah, you got prescription drugs, and then you got the illegal drugs, and then you have drugs that are the worst two drugs. Cigarettes and alcohol are the worst two drugs that there is, and those are both legal. Even in drug rehab, the only drug you can have is the worst drug in the world, cigarettes. Like, it's so crazy. That makes sense because quitting other drugs is really hard, and you need cigarettes. But I mean, quitting fentanyl or heroin addiction, which I've done both. Yeah, that's right. I've done them both. I mean, I got addicted to opiates in Florida at 18. I quit at 23 finally, and that's when I moved to Denver because I wanted to get away from Florida and their freaking pill mills and go to the marijuana heaven, and I did, and I got a marijuana job. And I mean, right at first I had to wait a little bit to get the medical marijuana, get the medical marijuana card so I can buy it, which it only took like a month. Not even, I got it right away. And I got a marijuana job because I got a dishwasher job at a restaurant, and then they made me a cook, and that was awesome. I mean, that they gave me an opportunity to be a line cook. I was the oven cook, and I became a really good cook. I mean, I made everything. I had pizzas and like anything that was hot in the oven. I mean, you got the fry guys, the salads, the grill is the hardest, and then I had the oven. And I did pizzas and calzones. I did like every sandwich, and just every. I mean, I have so much. All these sandwiches, and you get so many tickets, and everything takes different times to cook. And if you mess something up, or a hole in the pizza, or you get a sandbag, I mean that. I mean, you're in a rush as a line cook. That is one of probably the hardest jobs I've ever had, for sure. I mean, that is crazy to have so much going on and do it without stopping and not messing it up and getting everything out and making the food good. I mean, I never thought I'd be able to make pizzas that fast, stretching the dough, throwing it in the air. I mean, just making good, perfectly round, perfect pizzas, like 10, 20, 30 a day, like making the calzones and the strombolis, and then also you have the sandwiches, and they have to be heated, and you have enchiladas, and I mean, just so much. Like, I can't even remember. But in Florida, I was a dishwasher, and they never even thought of making me a cook. And in Denver, I was a dishwasher, and I was a good job, and so they're like, hey, you want to try to be a line cook after just 3 months of being there? And I did it, and it was awesome. I mean, I met great people, and it was a great way to come to Colorado, and I meet all these local people. I met a lot of people that moved there, same reason I did, and I meet this one guy, and he ended up being a big time guy in the marijuana industry, and he had a radio show for marijuana, and he knew all the owners, and he brought me and my fiance to all the marijuana VIP owner parties and just stuff that I never thought I would be at. I mean, I remember once when I wanted to go to Colorado, and I was looking on YouTube, and I saw the golf course, and I see them go, the male and the female, they do that. Watch this. I put my finger, he stops chasing her. I got control. I love how fish they can see you. They see you back. Because when you grab that food, they come, and they know you're here. He knows I'm here. They see me. They're not hiding. I see them and they see me. And it's crazy how I would never want to hurt one of my pet fish. I love my pet fish. I fucking cry when one of them dies. But when I'm fishing, it's so, I mean, I'll grab a bait fish like that and hook it real quick, throw it in the water. I mean, it's because I don't have a relationship with those fish. I catch a fish, cut it in half, and throw it back out as bait, half alive, bleeding. But that's fishing. But I love to have I need the fish. I need the water and the fish with me. If I'm out here in the desert, kind of by the Rocky Mountains, 45 minutes away from actually going into them. Which ain't bad. I mean, I can see them from my house, and that's the goal. I just wanted to come out here and at least, because when I went to Denver for 3 years, it was amazing. I had the best time of my life. And I mean, I went out there for the medical marijuana, and everything that I wanted to happen happened. I mean, I met all these people that were big time owners and important people in the industry, and I went to, all these VIP marijuana parties where everyone's just passing around the best marijuana in the fucking world, and the marijuana dabs that was like a new thing. I mean, it was just so cool. I got so lucky that the guy who replaced me as a dishwasher was a big, important. He ran Normal on his website for Colorado for 2 years, and so that's how he knew all these people that were, into politics of marijuana. I mean, we would go to the legalize it, recreational, smoking weed on the steps of the Capitol building, holding signs legalize it, and as we're smoking weed and we can't get in trouble. I'm going from Florida where marijuana put you in jail if you got caught with it, and then now we're smoking it and blowing it in cops' faces on the steps of the Capitol building, holding a sign saying legalize it fully. And then I'll never forget the day when it happened and that recreational happened, and then as soon as it passed, people started shooting off fireworks. I heard a guy yell, "It happened!" Just screamed that marijuana is legal. I mean, it was like the whole fucking city of Denver had this moment of just complete freedom now. We don't need a medical card. We can just go and buy marijuana in the store legally, and there's a billion different kinds and types, and oh my god. And then the marijuana jobs are amazing. You get paid so much better. I went from going golf course jobs in Florida, construction and restaurants, making crap pay. The construction jobs were so hard, and then all of a sudden I got to Denver and I'm trimming marijuana, hanging out, laughing, smoking weed with all these people, meeting people, all talking all day, stoned, happy, making double the pay I was getting in Florida, doing terrible construction, flooring, roofing, shitty jobs, cabinets, just all that crap. Pueblo isn't as fun as Denver, but it's close to Denver, so I can always go if, they take day trips, and it's nice to be close to it. The only thing I miss is the Gulf of Mexico. My hometown, the fishing pier I grew up on got destroyed in the last hurricane, and the city of Naples, Florida doesn't really want to redo a fishing pier, but instead make more of a tourist pier and only really allow you to catch little fish. When I left, they were saying that they were making you could only have small hooks and small fishing reels, and you couldn't have big reels no more, and you weren't allowed to cut big baits, there was so many rules, and it was basically so you couldn't catch sharks and tarpon and big stuff. They didn't want you catching sharks why, and they had tourism. You know, they don't want to scare the tourists away with people catching sharks and like dragging them to the beach when they got kids in the water. But we never did that. We never brought a shark when it was dangerous. We're smarter than that. We only beached the sharks at night and no one was swimming. If anything, we were the ones out in the water with a 10-foot bull shark, man-eating shark, and I'm up to my waist pushing the shark, me and a friend getting them after, 1 and 2 hour fight with a fishing pole. That thing was exhausted. It was so much fun. It's like man versus beast. But, we love those sharks and we want to keep them going, tiger sharks, and we want, so we'd always revive them. And, only once I've ever had a shark turn right around on me and almost get me. At one time, I had a hammerhead do that. Hammerheads were the strongest fighting sharks I've ever felt. Bull sharks, they'll take your bait and they'll just almost strip your entire reel line off your reel. But they just do one big run and then you basically reel them in. Like nurse sharks don't even fight. Limit sharks, they're all similar, but not hammerhead sharks. Hammerhead sharks just go. You reel them in, they go again. A 5-foot hammerhead shark fights so much harder than like a 9-foot bull shark. It's insane. Or a limit shark. Okay, I don't even know why I made this video. The water was looking clear, and I got the new orange guide and the Gourami, my 75-gallon tank, and I just felt like making a little video. It's really not even for you guys. It's really more for just me someday in the future so I can look back. And I have the videos on YouTube so I don't have to waste anything on my phone. So, fuck y'all. I made this for myself, but if you want to watch it and stuff, basically all I got to say is gouramis I think are a great fish to have, or have a gourami tank. I tried doing cichlid tanks and they just eat each other, kill each other. Even the last 2 cichlids I have fight with each other every day. They don't mess with the gouramis. So it seems like the cichlids don't mess with the gouramis, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. Bye.